Hi guys, Darren here from Lazy Gamer. Before we get started with this video, we just want to send out a big thanks and a shout out to MAFIA III for giving us the money to make this video. Money which we then used to fund this sandwich. Look at it. It's magnificent. And now onto the video. MAFIA III. After too many years of the gaming industry not having a premium gangland game to play around in, MAFIA III is finally stepping into the scene and bringing with it some old school charm and style. There's a lot of reasons why we are properly excited for MAFIA III. So sit back, relax, and we will make you an offer you cannot refuse as to why we think MAFIA III is going to rule the charts this year. Number 1, it's giving you a fresh perspective. Look, video games have come a long way over the years. They're mechanically better than ever and capable of telling many a varied tale from a fresh set of eyes. MAFIA III is one of those games, as it places players in the boots of Vietnam War veteran Lincoln Clay. If you thought that it was bad enough that Clay returned home to a country that hated the soldiers it sent to die in the jungles of Asia, then you ain't seen nothing yet. As a black man in the late 1960s, Clay has a life worse than you'd imagine. Racism is rampant, prejudice rears its ugly head everywhere, and America is very much still divided along lines of colour, as Clay's base of operations happens to be in the racially charged city of New Bordeaux. MAFIA III wants you to know what it feels like to be oppressed, to be the victim who has to watch the world around him be deconstructed because of his skin colour. It's not easy subject matter to deal with, as a simple night out in New Bordeaux will have strangers cast uneasy glances in your direction, and cops hassle you for the sole reason of having a darker shade of skin. It's a world that many people have never experienced before, and that's exactly why MAFIA III is so important, as it strips away the privilege from players and forces them to walk in the shoes of someone else, as it uses the medium of a video game to tell a story with impact and consequences. Number 2, it's going to be brutal. On the other hand, if you're looking for a more visceral experience, then MAFIA III has you covered. Lincoln Clay isn't exactly wet behind the ears when it comes to dishing out some violence, as a tour in Vietnam equipped him with all the skills he needed to survive in the jungle. But a lifetime of growing up on the hard streets of America formed the foundation for his doctorate from the School of Hard Knocks. Whether it's unloading a clip of 9mm ammo into a mob goon or silently trying to take out some opposition with a knife to the face, Clay is an unrelenting force of violence and brutality. And with his adopted family in the black mob all but wiped out by the hands of the Italian mafia, Clay's bloody quest for revenge is going to carve its way through the ranks of the underworld as he works his way up the top of that crime ladder. Number 3, you get to drive real, proper American muscle cars. Cars today are made with precision and science, and that's kind of boring. There used to be an age where automobiles were works of art, everyman vehicles for blue-collar workers that were built on frames of danger and death. There's a reason why the cars of the 1960s were referred to as muscle cars, as these vehicles weren't just meant to get you from point A to point B. They were designed to do that, yes, but to do so with flair and style. And you'll be driving plenty of them in MAFIA III. But it's not just enough to have vehicles that look like something that you'd want to own in 1968. MAFIA III's vehicles are also meant to feel like they belong to that era. They're meaty, they're dangerous, and they take corners while leaving streaks of rubber on the tar so that everyone knows that you just came past. To make driving even better, however, players will be able to further trick their rides out with a whole garage worth of customization options. Supercharge your engine, make your tires bulletproof, or invest in some solid suspension so that you can slide around corners with the grace of a rally car driver. The choice is yours. Number 4, it's got a soundtrack that your dad will approve of. Music today is, well, kind of crap. Between musical television shows milking drama to maximum effect, and the fact that the latest chart topper has more auto-tune than the Skynet assembly line that pumps out T-800 Terminators, the songs of today aren't exactly going to be fondly remembered classics in a few decades. Fortunately, good music is alive and kicking in MAFIA III. It's a game with a soundtrack that reads off like a 1960s best-of collection. With more than 100 licensed tracks available in MAFIA III, there's something for everyone. The Animals, Aretha Franklin, Cream, Etta James, The Misfits, Otis Redding, Johnny Cash, Marvin Gaye, and so many more. Go and mention some of those names around your dad. Watch his face light up as he forgives you for years of having to endure you talking about dubstep music. Truly, Mafia 3 is a game that will unite families. And number 5, you're creating your own criminal empire. How do you really strike back at the crime lords who stole your family away from you? A bullet to the head may be the end result of Lincoln Clay's violent retribution, but he won't be satisfied with taking out the Mafia goons responsible for ruining his life before he dismantles them piece by piece. New Bordeaux happens to be home to many Mafia operations: drugs, gambling, and prostitution, just to name a few, and making certain that the profits from these rackets dries up is one hell of a way to hurt the Mafia. Thing is, waging a one-man war on the mob isn't cheap, and with a power vacuum formed by your activities, it'll be up to Lincoln to step in and provide a guiding hand to the new rackets that takes over, and that keeps him ready for his never-ending war on the Mafia. And you look like just the kind of guy to help give Lincoln and his crew a helping hand in their less than legal endeavors.